All right. Shalom, family. It's your brother Kanaiba coming at you once again with this video titled, Was the Houston Astros win by chance or in the making? Time for a recap. My critique from a spiritual vantage point. So at this point, they're becoming more and more blatant with the script that they adhere to. And when I say they, I'm talking about those that are within the craft, that adhere to the left-hand side, okay? Those who are in the eye of the public, talking about celebrities, athletes, etc. Okay, because as we know, yesterday on November the 5th, the Houston Astros won the World Series of 2022. Okay. Now, once I saw this, my spidey senses started going off. Okay. And I know there's going to be those of you who's going to label me and like-minded people as conspiracy theorists. Well, you have that right. But looking at how this thing transpired the day that they won the World Series, okay, and the way that the numbers line up, it's very clear to me that this was scripted. Okay, this was according to the script, and this script was written a while ago. Okay, it's not something that was just written last week. We're talking about maybe a year or better ago. It was already in the making for the Houston Astros to actually win the World Series in 2022. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to lay out all the evidence that's pointing towards this. Because as you can see in my thumbnail, okay, of course I have this poster of the 2022 World Champions, okay, the Houston Astros. But if you look to the right of the thumbnail, of course, I have a photo of, you see that? Travis Scott's Astro World, right? And of course, under that, I have a picture of the brother Takeoff, okay, who unfortunately was murdered just on the 1st of this month, November the 1st, right? So we're going to look at how all of this actually links up together. Okay, believe it or not. Like I said, this is according to a particular script, but you have to look at this thing from a spiritual vantage point. All right? So without further ado, let's get it started. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to rewind. Let's go back about a year ago, and let's go back to the 2021 World Series. Okay, if you all can remember, okay, if you actually follow baseball, who was in the World Series last year? Okay, let's take a look. See this? In the World Series last year, you had, of course, the Houston Astros and the Atlanta Braves. Okay? Now, one may ask, okay, well, what does that have to do with anything, Kanaiba? What does the Atlanta Braves have to do with anything? Okay? Well, this is what you have to understand. Okay, last year it just wasn't in the script for the Houston Astros to win. Okay, that was the Atlanta Braves year according to the script. Okay, because the Atlanta Braves actually won last year. Okay, now why is this significant? Well, we just talked about how, what was it, November the 1st, you had Takeoff that was removed from the land of the living, correct? Well, Takeoff and the rest of the amigos, they are from Atlanta. Okay, so it was in Atlanta based rapper that was actually killed on November the 1st of this year. Now, I think that this is actually metaphoric. Okay, I believe that this is metaphoric, okay? The connection between the Atlanta Braves and Takeoff. Okay, but we're going to get a little bit deeper into that here in a minute. All right? But now, what I want to do is I want to look at some numbers real quick. Okay? Let's go to the handy dandy gematria calculator. Okay, let's go there. Let's take a look at some numbers. Okay, and let's see how everything lines up. And let's see if I'm on point or if your brother Kaniba is just reaching. All right, let's take a look. So here we have the gematria calculator. Okay, and what I did, of course, is I typed in Atlanta Braves, right? Now, look at the numerical value of Atlanta Braves. Okay, it comes out to a numerical value of 136. Okay, 136. Now, keep that in mind. Okay, we're going to come right back to this. Okay, because this number is very important. And you're going to see the connection that I'm talking about, this particular metaphor between the Atlanta Braves and Takeoff. Okay, I believe Takeoff was actually a metaphor for the Atlanta Braves. Okay, and I'm going to explain myself actually after I lay out my evidence. Okay, so now let's move forward and let's take a look at something else because we're coming right back here. All right. So now let's get a bit more information on the brother Takeoff here. Okay, let's take a look at something. Let's see his birthday. Okay, so this is Takeoff, and as you see here, he was born June 18th, 1994. Okay, so he was born on June the 18th. Okay, now that's very important for this next piece of evidence that I'm about to show you. Okay, now we're about to link this whole thing up. So that would mean that his last birthday was on June 18th, 2022, correct? So what I want to do is I want to count how many days between his last birthday, which would be June 18th, 2022, to the date of his death, which is November the 1st, 2022. Let's see how many days that is from his birthday to his death date. Okay, let's take a look. And here we have it. Okay, this is what I typed in. From June 18th, 2022 to November the 1st, 2022 is 136 days. Did an eerie feeling just come over you? I wouldn't doubt it, and I wouldn't blame you. Now, what is the significance of this? Okay, I told you to remember something earlier, correct? Now look at this. Let's take a good look at this. There's 136 days from June 18th, 2022, which was his last birthday, to November the 1st, 2022, which is the day of his death. 136 days. Now allow me to bring something to your remembrance. Okay, we went to the gematria calculator and we typed in Atlanta Braves, and it came out to a sum total of 136. Now, I made a statement and I said I believe this is metaphoric. I believe that that Takeoff was a metaphor for the Atlanta Braves. Okay, because that's a part of this particular script. Okay, as far as baseball goes. Okay. Now, It just so happens that the Atlanta Braves, when you type it into the gematria calculator, it comes out to a sum total of 136, right? And if you count from Takeoff's last birthday, June the 18th, to the day of his death, November the 1st, that's 136 days. So you mean to tell me that that's just a coincidence? No, it's not. Takeoff was simply a metaphor for the Atlanta Braves, okay? Because they were originally the world champions, okay? And they just so happened to have beat the Houston Astros in the last World Series before the one that just passed, the one back in 2021. They knocked off the Houston Astros, okay? So what I believe, and this is just my critique, I'm not saying if it's true or not, but looking at this thing from a spiritual vantage point, it looks as if Takeoff being murdered in Houston, mind you, in Houston, was a metaphor for the Houston Astros getting their revenge and dethroning the Atlanta Braves. Okay, according to that particular script. You see, it wasn't in the script for the Houston Astros to win last year. No, it was the Atlanta Braves' time. Okay, but all the Houston Astros had to do was just be patient. Okay, they would get their time in the next World Series, which of course was just yesterday on November the 5th. Okay. Now, again, some of you may be looking at me like I'm crazy. Kaniba, you reaching, you a conspiracy theorist. Well, there's a popular saying out there. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. Okay? So what I believe that, of course, you're dealing with two scripts that very eloquently tied in together. Okay, of course, you had the script dealing with the Houston Astros. Okay, and then you had the script dealing with, now I can't say for sure, but it seems as if Takeoff could have been Quavo's sacrifice. Okay, who knows? But that's why I said these are two scripts that eloquently tied in together. Okay, and Takeoff is the common denominator. Okay, you got to understand, on the left-hand side, okay, they operate according to different scripts. Okay, for, I don't want to say the greater good, but to, work towards a main goal. Okay, building that quote-unquote proverbial pyramid. Okay, that they adhere to on the left-hand side. Okay, so now let's shed a little bit of light on the other pic within my thumbnail, which was a picture of Travis Scott's Astro World. Okay, let's recap, because I said we're going to do a recap. Okay, let's get a recap on some of the information about what happened during that incident dealing with Astro World and Travis Scott. Okay, let's get our recap. So here we have some information about what happened last year during the Astro World incident. Now, look at the date it happened on. It happened on November the 5th. Let me ask you something. When did the Houston Astros win the World Series here recently? Oh yeah, November the 5th. Now, is that a coincidence as well? Am I reaching? No, all of this ties in together. Okay, all of it. All right, let's take a look, because some of you may think I'm crazy, but let's take a look. It says on November the 5th, 2021, a fatal crowd crush occurred during the first night of the 2021 Astro World Festival, a music event founded by American musician Travis Scott that was held at NRG Park in Houston, Texas. Now watch closely. 8 people died on that night, on the night of the concert. And 2 more people died in the hospital over the following days. Allow me to repeat that last part. It says 8 people died on the night of the concert. Okay, so on the night of the concert, November the 5th, 8 people died. But days later, 2 more people died, bringing the death toll to what? 10. So originally, 8 people died on the night of. Then days later, 2 more died, which equals 10. 8, 10. Now, why does that sound familiar? 8, 10. Oh yes, I remember. That was the name of the bowling alley that Takeoff was murdered at. 810. Now, allow me to ask you again. Am I reaching or am I on point? You mean to tell me all this information that I'm bringing out is just mere coincidences? I think not. And let's look at this. Let's take a look at the logo for this bowling alley. Look at the color scheme. The color scheme for this particular bowling alley, the logo, is black, white, and red. Okay. Again, what do we know about those colors? It represents sacrifice. I've been telling you this throughout a whole plethora of my past videos, that the colors of black, white, and red represent sacrifice. Okay? That's why in my last video, I said they had to have Takeoff at a particular place, at a particular time, to carry out this particular script for this particular sacrifice. Okay? It had to be at this bowling alley, which is called 810, according to the script. And we just looked at the information for the Astro World incident and how originally 8 people died. Then the death toll jumped to 10 people, 810. Okay? And that incident it happened on November the 5th, a year to the date before the Houston Astros win the World Series, and on November the 5th, 2022. Okay? Now, if that's not enough for you, you should know by now, I always got more. Okay, I always have more, right? So now, let's go back to the handy dandy gematria calculator, and let's take a look at something. Okay? So here we have the gematria calculator, and as you see, I typed in Astro World. Okay, now let's look at the numbers, okay? Something is very suspect. Let's count, shall we? Now, when you type in Astro World, of course, the numerical value is 145. But I want to look at the numbers across the board, and I want to do a little bit of math. Now, if you look at the ordinal, it's 145. 1 plus 4, of course, is 5, plus 5 is 10. Let's look at the reduction, 46. 4 plus 6 is 10. Look at the reverse, 125. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. Reverse reduction, 62. 6 plus 2 is 8. So again, we have this thing of 810 when you type in Astro world. Okay, now, again, I'm going to ask the same question. You mean to tell me that all of this is just a mere coincidence? Everything that I'm laying out on the table here, it just happened, okay? And it just happened to line up perfectly like this. I think not. Okay, we have to start looking at these things from a spiritual vantage point. Okay, you can't just look on a surface level. Okay, you can't look at this thing from a two-dimensional stance. Okay, because you're gonna be lost. You're gonna be just like the individuals that look at me and like-minded people as conspiracy theorists. Okay, when that's not the case. It's really blatant at this point. Okay, I really didn't have to do that much digging. I've done much more digging in past videos. This was actually fairly easy. Okay, but anyway, let's continue. Now, just as a sidebar, not really a sidebar, but don't think for 1 second we're gonna end this video without taking a little bit of a look at Offset. Okay, because this is what you have to understand. When you actually type in Offset in the gematria calculator, you have the same thing of 810. Look at this. Offset comes out to a numerical value of 71. Now let's look at the numbers across the board. Now the ordinal is 71. 7 plus 1 is 8. The reduction, 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. The reverse, 91. 9 plus 1 is 10. And of course, the reverse reduction is 28. 2 plus 8 is 10. So again, you have this thing of 810 when you type in Offset in the gematria calculator. Okay. Now I've been saying, especially in the past video, I've been saying that this seems like this could be a sacrifice for Quavo. But now, looking at different things, this very well could have been a sacrifice for the whole group in general. Okay, because it seems as if Offset may be tied to it too. Okay, but I'm going to leave that for you to decide. Okay, we're going to look at a couple of more things. All right, then we're going to bring this video to a close. Okay, now, of course, we know that Offset and Quavo released that music video on Halloween, October 31st, correct? Now, what's quite curious, very suspect, is what Offset did on Halloween. Okay, if you were on Instagram, okay, he actually posted on his story, and this Negro was dressed up as the Joker. Okay, in fact, let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, let's take a look. Now, I actually had to go on TikTok to find this particular clip because it had actually been taken off of his story on Instagram. So I had to go to TikTok to find this clip. But I don't know about you, but looking at this clip, it looked very sinister. Okay, he's dressed up as the Joker on Halloween, the same day that Quavo and Takeoff released that music video, Messy. Okay, he's dressed up as the Joker on the same day, on Halloween. Now, the Joker is just a symbol for the divine clown when you're dealing within the craft on the left-hand side. That's the divine clown, the jester. And this is the role that Offset was playing in this particular clip. So what is the underlying message? To me, it's saying that the joke is on us, or the joke is also on Takeoff, because they know what's about to happen, but we don't. Okay, it just seems like it was an underlining message here. Okay, I could be wrong, but this is just me looking at this thing from a spiritual vantage point. Okay, it was just the whole video was just weird. Okay, I remember when he first posted it that day on Halloween. It was just weird. Okay, but let's look at something else real quick. So a few months ago, Offset released a single. Okay, and the name of the single is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now to me, that again just seems like a play on words. Okay, you're counting down to a takeoff. That's usually what comes after that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 takeoff. Okay, it seems like it's a play on words, but we're going to see if I'm reaching on that one. Okay, because I'm going to prove to you that I'm not. Okay, but let's move forward. Now, we see that this particular song was released on August the 19th, 2022. Okay, now we got to keep that in mind, because that's very important. Okay, it was released on August the 19th, 2022. Okay, so now let's scroll down a bit here. And if you look towards the bottom of the screen, we see that it seems like Offset released 3 singles this year. The first one being Big 14, then of course 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then look at this one, Code. Okay, you have the last one here, which was Code, right? Now, we're going to take a look at that song a little bit later. Okay, we're going to speak on that briefly. Okay, but right now, I want to set my focus on this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? Now, we just said that the song was released when? On August the 19th, 2022. Correct? So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit of math, right? And as we see here, when you start from the beginning of the year, January the 1st, to August the 19th, 2022, it's a sum total of 230 days. Now, why is this significant? 230 days. Why is this number 230 significant? Okay, I suggest you go back and watch my previous video. Okay, but I'll give you a spoiler alert. Well, as we know, it was Quavo and Takeoff on October the 7th. They released a song. They released a single called 230, right? And on the day of November the 1st, the reports say that Takeoff was murdered around 2:30 a.m. Okay, and it just so happens that Offset released this song 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 230 days in, pretty much. Okay, if you count from January the 1st to August the 19th, he released this song on that 230th day. Okay, and it's like it was a countdown to Takeoff. Okay, so do you mean to tell me that this is just more coincidences? I don't think so. That's why, again, like I said, I originally said that this was Quavo's sacrifice, but now I'm beginning to believe that this could have been a sacrifice for the whole group in general. Okay, because when you when you look at the music video Messy, that contract that Quavo had, the contract did not say Quavo, it said Migos. Okay, so again, there's more evidence now pointing towards maybe Offset, having his hands in this as well. Okay, but again, I'm just putting the evidence out there. This is going to be for you to decide, right? So now let's put a little bit of icing on the cake here. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is actually gonna be a snippet from the music video 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now I really hope YouTube ain't on that BS. Okay, I'm gonna play, it's probably less than 10 seconds of this song. Okay, but we're gonna take a listen, and we're gonna listen to what Offset said and some of the lyrics. Okay, and then we're gonna see if your brother Kaniba is actually reaching. Okay, let's listen to this.
I'm out of here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Take off, touch my brother, pull a gun.
Did y'all hear that? Now, is your brother Kaniba reaching? Okay, you can go back and watch this in full on your own time. Okay, I originally said I was going to post a snippet of the music video, but I decided to just actually get a video with the lyrics. Okay, but the point being is this. Okay, he said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take off. And then immediately after that, he talks about a gun being pulled, then bow, like the trigger being pulled. I mean, again, go back and actually watch the whole thing in full on your own time. Okay, he repeats the line 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 over and over again, but the only time he says 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 take off, he mentions a gun being pulled, and then he makes the trigger sound, bow. Okay, you don't have to take my word for it. Just go back and watch it yourself, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so now, again, I believe that to be predictive programming. Okay, again, this was a part of the script. This is a part of the script for the Migos that was already written. Okay, like I said, there's 2 scripts here that eloquently tied in together. The script for the Houston Astros and the script for, originally I just said Quavo, but now I'm gonna say the Migos. Okay, and again, takeoff is the common denominator that ties the 2 scripts in together. Okay, so now, before we bring this video to a close, let's do one last thing, and let's actually go to Offset's Instagram account. Okay, let's take a look at this. So this is the very last post that Offset posted on his Instagram account. Okay, or at least at the time of this video, right? Now, he posted this on October the 22nd, I believe, right? Now, look at this photo. Okay, it's a photo of him standing on a checkerboard floor wearing the red, black, and white. Okay, which we already established are the colors for sacrifice, right? And it looks as if they framed it where he seems to be standing in between 2 pillars. Okay, this photo is very Masonic in nature. Okay, and this is, like I said, this is the last post that he actually posted on his Instagram account at the time of this video. Okay, which it seems as if he posted this on October the 22nd. Okay, and this is it's a lot of other photos within this this particular post. If you keep scrolling to the left, he actually also has a picture of Tupac, a famous picture of Tupac, which was very telling to me because Tupac was sacrificed, if you didn't know. Okay, but yes, again, everything points to him maybe having his hands in this messy situation as well. Okay, again, I'm not going to say for sure. This is just my critique, me looking at this thing from a spiritual vantage point. Okay, now lastly, let's take a look at his bio. Okay, let's take a look at the bio for his Instagram account. Now, when you look at this, you see the profile pic. Okay, the profile pic is a picture of Takeoff. Okay, and it's really weird. They have this photo, and as you can see, there's a heart right there. Okay, now if you've been watching my videos for some time now, you should know that the heart represents the sun. Okay, symbol for Tammuz. Okay, Tammuz was also a sacrificial figure, right? Now, look at what it says in the bio. He's promoting the song Code. Remember, I told you we was going to touch on this briefly. Now, he's promoting the song Code. Okay, and it says Code out now. So he's saying this particular single is out now, but I'm looking at this from a spiritual vantage point. I believe that this is a play on words. Okay, it says Code out. Okay, Code out now. Now the term code out, that's actually a medical term talking about cardiac arrest. Okay, which ultimately is dealing with death. Okay, again, I think that's a play on words, code out, and it says code out now, as if this had to take place at a certain time. And again, he has the profile pic of Takeoff right there. Now you brothers and sisters, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I don't know how long he's had Takeoff's picture there as his profile pic, but I don't think it's been that long. Okay, I think he had to do it within a couple of days' time. Okay, because the last time I checked, that wasn't the profile pic. Okay, and again, I don't know how long he's been promoting this particular song in the bio as well. Okay, but like I said, I believe this song also came out back in August. So what are you doing still promoting it like that? I mean, it's not like it's a brand new song. Okay, but it's just very curious that that term, it says code out now. Okay, but again, maybe I'm reaching. But me personally, I don't think I am. Okay, you have to look at these things from a spiritual vantage point. Okay, but anyway, this will conclude this video. You know, I really could have made this into a 2-part video series. I really could have. But again, the title of this video is, was the Houston Astros win by chance or in the making? Time for a recap, my critique from a spiritual vantage point. Okay, and as you see, I laid all the information out there, at least everything that I found. Okay, just simply looking at this thing from a spiritual vantage point. Like I said in the video, I believe there are 2 scripts that had to be played out. And these 2 scripts eloquently, tied into one another. Okay, and I believe Takeoff was the common denominator that actually tied these 2 scripts in together. Okay. So again, what are your thoughts? You can let me know in the comments section. Again, is your brother Kaniba on point? Or am I reaching on this one? Okay, but again, the whole plethora of information that I laid out there, I just don't believe is a coincidence. Okay, none of these things just happen by happenstance. Okay, but with that, and as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, which that Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. And of course, I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, our Lord, our King, and our Savior, Yahweh Shai. And I want to thank all you brothers and sisters for tuning in. I hope this video was informative and edifying. Thank you for watching. And until next time, Shalom, family.